So today we're gonna start playing around a bit with some syncopation, some simple syncopation. For those of you who don't know what syncopation is it's pretty much we're adding a double step or a almost like a hiccup to the step that we're doing. For example, let's say I'm doing a basic to the left. Let's say I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm gonna do instead is gonna pick a place to do it in place, and then just go back and forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's pretty much double time. I can go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, right? I can do half syncopation. I can do a variety of that. So we're gonna go over what syncopation is and what to actually do with it. So Amanda's gonna be right here, facing you guys. I'm gonna be facing back here. I'm gonna start off with her left foot, which is the leader foot, and start with my foot. A little bit more of exact so people can see you there. I'm gonna be right here. So she's doing like she's just looking at you guys, and I'm just looking from you guys so you can see. So let's see the simplest way to. No, we're gonna start like this. So what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna start with a basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a beginner side step. So I say just switch places real quick so that way you have a better view of me as well. So as I finish this, I want to make sure to do two things. Breaking down the syncopated step. So I'm just going to try to do this. 1, 2. Just try this out. Just going to tippy toe. It's silly at first, but that's pretty much a tippy toe. We don't want to do is this yet. We're just going to tippy toe. Boom, 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 right? Like that. And again, this is the beginner session. We're going to keep everything nice and simple for beginners to follow. So we're going to do this tippy toe, right? That's pretty much the beginning of the syncopated steps. Now, once you kind of get used to that, two things. It's not so much that we're doing this, right? It's more so that I'm like literally just tippy toeing as I'm bouncing on it. That's the most important thing. The bounce is very important, making sure that you're not kind of too stiff, but also not too heavy. It's like a little bit of like you're jumping, almost like you're trying to jump up the stairs quick, or just doing this, right? So as you're doing, get used to that. What you're gonna do is back and forth and side to side, side to side and side to side and side to side. Two things to not do. Try not to what I call airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it means you're throwing too much of your upper body into it, and also try not to helicopter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it starts becoming sloppy, and again you're gonna throw yourself off balance. Now the last thing here with the hips, you don't really need to do hip action here. This is not necessary because this is just syncopation. It's just through the back of the knee, through the ankle. So all you gotta do is here, boom, 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 boom. That's pretty much it, right? So as I'm doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 3 points that I'm focused on. Right here, just above the knees, I'm going with the front of my quads. Right here, see how I can bring that together? Here or here, right? See? That's the first exercise. I don't want to do too much. I'm not trying to do this in a weird angle. Number 2, I'm thinking of the side of my shin or the side of my calf. And pa, and pa, and pa, and pa. See how my foot's kind of slightly out? Boom, and boom. And then last but not least, I'm thinking of my big toe. The ankle, I sometimes emphasize the ankle as well, but I think the big toe is more important because if you start doing the calf right, then it's depending where you put your big toe, whether you still have it out but it's pronated under you, you're still fine. And pa, and pa. Now if you're adding that ankle as an emphasis point, it's pretty much just so you can put this part of your ankle to here side of the shin. All this does is this. Make sure that everything's going to the one side, and then you're having a space for your ankle to be at. So that way it's not fully stuck or just colliding for the sake of colliding. It's actually making sense for you to switch back and forth. Now as you start doing that, then you can start adding different movements into your hips. Boom, bum, 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 bum. But the main point here is always going to be the feet themselves are the whole focus of what you're doing. So a few times we're going to just go side to side. 1 and 2 and. It's like a 2-step. You try to go through the ground, so you're pressing through the ground and trying to send yourself up. Don't worry so much you're going side to side. Just try to go up and up and up and up. The way you're going to the side is because you're opening your feet in that direction. Boom, boom, bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, And then some syncopated fundamentals today, I'm also going to teach you guys some fast steps. So one way I can teach you a fast step, I'm going to back up a bit. Exactly, yeah. So, this way, I'm going to go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just 4 even steps. What I'm going to do now to make a faster step is be a little bit more on my toes, on the ball of my foot. Number 2, focus more on just going up and down. And as I'm stepping in that direction, I'm going to let the heavier foot follow. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I slightly swivel my legs in the direction I'm going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making sure as you finish the 5 becomes heavier. 6, you bring the above portion of the quads, your calves, and then your big toes together. Then switching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be one of the steps we're doing, just a step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See here how I didn't put the action? It looks a bit more flat, a bit more heavy. So the more you do this, right, the more you're able to dribble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. So it's active and then it rests, boom, on the 5th step. The same thing going forward and back. I slightly, right? I slightly go forward. I don't have to take a big step this way, just enough. See how it's flexed? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, it's very important as I'm doing this movement to start transferring through my pelvis here now. 1, see here how I straighten it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I really want to emphasize. See, you can see where the 90-degree bend is. Together. Make sure to bend and unbend. Sit and unsit. Sit and sit out. So that's going to be important to your step. One last time going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same way going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sitting here. 6. That's going to be the fast step. So we have that fast step going to the side, to the front and back. Now the syncopated, we're going to do this in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just adding more steps in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Literally 6 steps compared to the in place 2 step. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you do the syncopated 2 step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a total of 12 steps. Right, so we're adding 4 steps total, 2 extra steps per 8 measure, which is the count that we go based off on the music. So let me check real quick if you guys have any questions. Alright. So again, if you have any questions, just type it into the YouTube or the Facebook comments, or just send me a message through my email or through the text number above. And again, I'll do my best to break this down for you. So that's the syncopated side step. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another way to think about it, remember we're all doing leader step. Leader, again, is usually the male, but doesn't have to be. It could be male or female. But is the one that usually interpreting and orchestrating the request in the dance. The follower usually is the one who interprets it, interprets the signal that is being given, and then it becomes almost like the vessel of the dance. So all this means is we're all doing the first step with our left foot as our 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm counting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but understand that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then my left leg is heavy, my right one is free. I'm gonna do on the actual count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, it's much harder to say that because it's just more of a mouthful, so I'm just repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 twice. If you do a basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you can see I just switched to the opposite side, so it just becomes mirrored. So let's do this. Let's do the fast step side to side, front and back, and then in place syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really make sure to use the inside of your knees, right above on the part of your calf, your big toe, to bring it underneath you. And make sure to actually switch. Sit on the correct leg, sit on the correct glute as you're doing the steps. So I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit louder for you guys. we're gonna do some steps for you.
Yo te conocí en primavera, me miraste tú de primera, un verano eterno me enamoré.
Okay, we're gonna try this song here. So we're gonna go abandon face the other way here. 5, 6, 7 with 2 basics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again and 1, 2, 4. Syncopated in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4 basic. 1, 2, 3, 4 basic. And 1, 2, 3, 4 syncopated. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 basic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic. 1, 2, 3, 4 syncopated. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 basic. 2, 3, 4 basic again. We're gonna do fast step. Here we go to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 basic. Basic again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basic one more time. I'm gonna give myself some space for you guys. Fast step towards the TV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walking towards TV. 1, 2, 3 empa. Again. 1, 3, 4. And fast towards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basic again. Syncopated in place. Here we go. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3. Basic one more time. Fast step to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic. Fast step towards. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. So the next part is placement. So once you kind of have the general motion of the steps, placement and distance and the size of the movement you're doing. So the better you control how you're sitting, right? How you're sitting on your glutes, how you're using your hip and how you're using your toe, the more control you'll be on the steps. So for example, let's say I'm kind of just really throwing my hip around here like this. It's gonna add unnecessary energy to do, right? What I want to try to do is focus on the feet through the knee, through just at the hip, not through the hip, but just at the hip, right through the knee, to make sure that I feel the transfer of the weight and the momentum. And we start using the hip abductors to kind of move this around a lot. You got to realize that the hips have a lot of power. So this move is not a power move. If you start throwing your hips around, you're gonna look sloppy. You're gonna look wild. It's not gonna look like bachata. It's gonna look like something else. With just this step itself, the main important emphasis is just you just want to emphasize the beat. 1 and 2 and 3, boom, right? So you don't want to have to be wild all the time. You just want to make sure you're controlled and make sure that you're on rhythm, because that's the whole point of the step, is to be at a different layer of rhythm. So as you're doing the movement here, all this means is this: if you go like this, that's your max length, right? Your max length length, like here, right? Same thing here. It kind of coincides a bit with your own arm length, right? So if you bring here, either measure here with the elbow with the knee. Say bring here, here. That's kind of how I start visually like feeling the space that I'm taking up. Number two, how do you actually place your feet? It's not ankle bone to ankle bone. It's actually 1, 2. My heel is slightly in front of my ankle bone. So as I'm doing the step 1, 2, right? Or 1, 2, it has a different feel. The difference here is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm keeping this heel in front. Or I could do the opposite, where I have this heel slightly ahead of this ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So let's say I do fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So I have the dragging foot, which is the one that's behind me, the one that's dragging behind. Boom. I'm using this above portion of my ankle, right, the top portion, and meeting that just underneath, just behind at the heel. So not this part of the heel, but here at the ankle. So as I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and from here I'm using my big toe to find a place right here next to the arch. Bum. So what Amanda's pointing out here is that you want to make sure as you're doing those steps, it helps out much better, much greater if you're active through the ankle, through the arch of the foot. I mean, so here, right? You don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, dragging it out. You can, but it's gonna be more effort because there's more friction, and because you're not setting yourself up to have momentum through the ground to raise yourself up as you're doing the step. Bum, boom, 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 boom. It's possible, of course, and it's done. But as you start building up the speed, especially if you want to be more accurate, more speed, and more graceful with it, you want to make sure to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm really pushing through the ground, rolling through the ball of my foot and through my big toe, so I'm able to kind of have that action going through. So I'm gonna show right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how this foot is slightly in here? If I set it down, see, like this. If I switch to the other side, 1. I start also swiveling slightly, not too much, but just enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, the dragon one, I choose to have it slightly like a maybe a thumb's width behind the leading foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bah. And then eventually, as Amanda also points out, we don't have a mic for her at the moment, but what she points out, through rolling of the big toe through the foot, through the arch, is able to. So actually, I'm going to pass the mic over to her so she can break down that movement of the hip action if you wish to add this to your repertoire.
Hi everyone. Okay, so when we do this fast step to add our hip into it, I'm doing the same exact movement step, but I'm automatically pushing my right hip. If I'm going to the left, I'm pushing my right hip up. So how I do this is like we're gonna be slightly bent, and then we're gonna just take our right hip and go up. And to do that, we just kind of lift up our leg a little bit, like this. You can do the same thing on the other side. This is the motion that we're doing when we do this side step, but we're adding a little bit more to it. So we go here. So we step out and send our right hip up. So we go 1, then come down. One more time. 1, down. And then we're going to keep doing that over and over again. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm using the ground a lot to push that hip up, because if I don't use the ground, then it's really difficult to make this movement possible. So I'm going here, coming down. When I push out, that's when my hip goes up. When I push my left leg out, my right hip goes up. And then I can do the same thing on the other side. So it just means I have to switch my feet. So I'm going to send my left hip up, and I'm going to take my right foot and step out. I'm going to do the same thing. Up, down, up, together. Let's try it all together. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Mic check 1, 2. Alright, so that's a really thorough explanation from Amanda about the hip movement. I'm just gonna change the battery real quick, so just to make sure that I don't run out of battery while changing that. Okay, I'm gonna adjust a little bit here on the back of the microphone part, because I know it's cutting out in and out a little bit, and I will be adjusting that. That's fine. Doesn't have to reach the other part. So we're good here, as long as it's moving. So moving on now back into the syncopated step. I have about 10 more minutes and then we're gonna take a quick 10-minute break and then go into salsa. And there's a lot of stuff you can do syncopated, by the way. So I'm gonna show you how to add syncopation, but before you add syncopation, you gotta understand what it actually is. So part of the breakdown was that it's this movement, right? It's like you're doing this. See how I'm not flattening my heel? I'm not pedaling. There's a difference between pedaling and dribbling, right? Pedaling is like I'm on the gas pedal. And in the gas pedal, you're trying to use the front of your foot, right? Well, it's not necessarily the same thing, but I'm thinking more of like a bike pedal, where you're using like the back of your heel to kind of pedal through the bicycle. What I want you to think about as you're doing this movement, it's almost like you're trying to like tiptoe on grapes, right? So here, you really want to make sure. See how my knee is active. It's not like this. See here how I'm not bouncing? It's not that. It's this. You can see I'm pushing through the floor to do this movement. So you should literally feel like almost like you're jumping rope. Bump, 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 bump. Your heel can move and eventually touch the ground, but I'm not trying to focus on letting my heel go through. I'm trying to focus on letting it not go through to the floor. Now, so I'm doing this 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Right? I can do that. Let's say I do a basic step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a syncopated. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8. So that's kind of like a half syncopation, right? So that's kind of me traveling out. Out, return, and bring together. Out, return, and bring together. So the first one we did was in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's pretty much the same thing, just less of an emphasis on opening. The side syncopated is just this. 1, 2, 3, 4, open up, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, open up, boom. Right? And you can start adding hip movement just like Amanda did here. Boom. Right? So you can just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? But the main emphasis of syncopation is going to be through the legs. It's more traditional footwork, especially. So again, when you're doing syncopation, think more about what you're doing with your feet and your legs, through the ankles, through the first, and then layer on top the movement. Otherwise, it's gonna look not as sharp. It's gonna look more wild compared to having something intentionally and adding those layers. Gonna look much more crisp and much more connected to the music. Same thing now. We've done this before in the intermediate classes, but I'm gonna start getting you guys up there if you've been following along this whole time. I'm gonna give you. We have side syncopated, in place syncopated. Fast step. The last step for today is just a forward syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's pretty much forward and back. So I'll break this down really slow. Let's say we start neutral right here. Again, bachata especially, you want to have a slight little sit. You don't want to stand up completely straight. Slight little sit. So from here, I'm going to show it to you from the side. I'm also trying to have my toes a little bit more underneath my glutes, underneath my butt, and right within my hips, within my shoulders, my center of gravity. So as I'm going, right, I'm like really exaggerating right now, but as you're doing that, try not to just stand like this. As you're doing the step, right, you always want to have a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a give through the floor, raising yourself up into the sky as well. So as I'm doing this forward syncopated, 1. I start going slightly diagonal here, 1, and I start letting this hip swivel a little bit. 1 and. And see here, this foot, it follows along. 1 and, 2 and, 3, 4. 1 and, 2 and, 3, 4. So I'm also using now my pelvis to kind of help complete that movement. I can also do just legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, again, as you start going through the floor up, you can literally start building the movement ground up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adding there more rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Adding in more shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So that's again the layering of the movements into that. So again, the way I like to teach is through layers and concepts. So once you understand those things, the possibilities of what you pick up, not just through these classes, but through everywhere else, is so much more. And because it makes more sense, you're literally learning how to teach yourself these moves. You're learning how instructors can learn, and you're better able to ask them questions based on how you're understanding the movement, not just their style. So that it makes you just a well-rounded dancer, and especially if you're a dancer that does just following or leading, it helps you understand from the other perspective, even if you haven't started that journey yet to do the other role. And again, I really emphasize, whether you're a guy or girl, to start emphasizing learning the differences in like the following part and the leading part. So doing the forward and back step one more time. Let's do a 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I go syncopated forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So another quick tip is reminiscent of what Amanda just said just now, or just not too long ago. Keep your steps smaller, but also to help you do that smaller, it sometimes helps to understand that you got to take the rest of your body with you, right? So you can have your steps small however you want, but also let your hips go with it, sway with it. You're not going to use your hips to throw yourself there, right? But you're going to follow along. As you get more comfortable in your hip movement, then you start throwing more hip action in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? If you start doing hip everything, you're going to realize you're going to get really tired really fast, and you're actually just doing too much movement. It's just about here, 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 and then boom, travel. Here, 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 and boom, travel. Okay? Let's 5, 6, marching. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's actually do this again. You have Amanda facing you guys. I'm gonna walk 5, 6. Here we go. Walking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So that's kind of like the basic gist of the syncopated step. If any questions, just let us know in the comments. Message me if you need a further breakdown. We'll be bringing in more syncopation in the next beginner classes. We'll definitely, and again, at the end of the month, I do go over with a small review of what we've done so far in the month. It does include everything, but it will have a majority of the stuff we've covered. And this month, my plan is to have syncopation be a big series of concepts related to the overall learning in the beginning stuff. So let's change the music real quick. Check if you guys have any questions. Seem to be doing pretty good so far. All right. So we're gonna finish up with this song. It's a more classic song by Luis Segura, Cariñito de mi vida. It's like really classic bachata. So here, you're really gonna listen and hear the difference in the music than some of the more popular bachata that you hear in modern times. So we're gonna start with simple. 5, 6, 7, basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna get the groove for the feeling. Bum, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of get the beat first. Really focus on taught you today with using the big toe rolling through, and always have a slight little bounce. Bounce and bounce. Again, your steps don't have to be perfectly measured, but really feel the movement and travel, right? I'm traveling to the side, so I'm gonna move my body there, right? My intention and direction. And boom, right? My face may be directed forward, but my intention of my body is left and then right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's walk forward. See, so and direction in place. So when I say intention, that's where you're intending to go. Direction is where you're directed at with focus, but it may not be where you're actually ending up at. One more time forward. Basic. Syncopated in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic. 2, 3, 4. Okay, just focus on the dribbling of the feet, using mainly just your ankles, your quads, your knees. Use that syncopation. Get ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basic. Here we go, syncopated in place. Left and right and left switch. Right and left and right switch. Left and right and left switch. Right and left and basic. Bum, bum, bum. Boom. So now we're going to switch where Amanda's going to be facing you guys. And this next song is going to be continue. Time check, making sure we're on the ball with what we're doing. Okie dokie. So we're gonna finish up this class for tonight. So again, stay tuned for more syncopated concepts and layering for the fundamentals beginner classes every Monday. If you enjoy the class, if you feel to contribute up top, again, everything goes to help out with maintaining the website. I have a bunch of things I need to catch up with. The requests for more classes or more videos or just live videos. We're gonna try to do a Zoom class, which is pretty much live feedback. So stay tuned on the website and the Facebook for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, big thanks to you guys for contributing and supporting, liking, subscribing, and sharing. Everything helps out. And again, thank you to Amanda for joining me today as well. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the sauce. Have a great evening, guys. See you soon.